Once upon a time, in a remote monastery nestled in the mountains, there lived a monk named Ravi. Ravi was known throughout the land for his wisdom, kindness, and inner peace. People from far and wide would come to seek his counsel and guidance on matters both big and small. One day, a young man named Arjun came to the monastery seeking Ravi's help. Arjun was a hot-headed individual who struggled to control his emotions. He would often fly into a rage at the slightest provocation, causing harm to himself and those around him. He had heard of Ravi's reputation for teaching the importance of emotional control and sought his guidance. Ravi welcomed Arjun warmly and invited him to stay at the monastery as his disciple. He knew that the teaching Arjun to control his emotions would be no easy task, but he was determined to help him. For the first few weeks, Ravi focused on teaching Arjun the basic principle of mindfulness and meditation. He taught him how to observe his thoughts and emotions without judgment, and how to cultivate a sense of inner peace and balance. Arjun began to see a gradual transformation within himself. He started to notice that he was less reactive to the world around him and that he was able to respond to situations with greater clarity and calm. He was learning to control his emotions. As Arjun was out gathering firewood in the forest, he came across a wounded bird lying on the ground. The bird had a broken wing and was in pain. Arjun felt a surge of compassion welling up with him, and he knew that he had to help the bird. He carefully picked up the bird and carried it back to the monastery. Ravi saw the bird in Arjun's arms and smiled. He knew that Arjun was learning to harness the power of his emotions for good. Together, Ravi and Arjun tended to bird's wounds and nursed it back to health. As the bird regained its strength and eventually flew away, Arjun felt a deep sense of fulfillment and joy. He realized that by controlling his emotions, he had been able to help another being in need. From that day on, Arjun became known as the compassionate monk. He was loved and respected by all who knew him for his gentle nature and kind heart. As the years went by, Ravi grew older and weaker. On his deathbed, he called Arjun to his side and whispered his final words out. Remember, my son, Ravi said, true strength lies not in ability to overpower others, but in the ability to master oneself. Control your emotions, and you will find peace and happiness wherever you go. With tears in his eyes, Arjun nodded solemnly. He knew that Ravi's words would stay with him for the rest of his days. And so, Arjun continued to walk the path of the monk, spreading love, compassion, and wisdom wherever he went. He never forgot the lessons he had learned from his beloved teacher, and he remained forever grateful for the gift of emotional control. In the end, Arjun realized that true power comes from within, from the ability to control one's emotions and harness them for the greater good. And he knew that as long as he walked this path, he would always find peace and fulfillment in his heart. And so, the story of compassionate monk and his journey to control his emotions became a legend, inspiring generations to come to seek inner peace and emotional balance in their own lives.